The college football experience, college football invitational 14 playoff pregame show on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is brought to you by Hall of Fame Bets, the sports betting research platform for parlays, player props, and game lines. Download the Hall of Fame Bets app or visit hofbets.com. Use that promo code SGPN to get 50% off your first month and start making smarter bets today, people. And remember, as always, folks, to let it ride.
This is Jim Mora, and you're listening to SGPN. Let it ride.
Yes. Woo! Welcome to the college football experience pregame show. Live from Eagle Rock, California, right? 10 minutes away from the Rose Bowl, folks. Happy New Year. Happy New Year to each and every one of you. The audio is bugging out, huh? Is that true? Is that true? Our audio is crazy right now. Is that true? You guys got me or no? You guys got me? Fuck's going on in this world? The fuck is going on? It's a new year, and they're trying to shut down independent gambling. You know what I mean? If you're wondering who the hell you're listening to, my name is Colby Swinging Database Dad, aka Pick Dundee. That's not a pick. This is a pick.
He was raised in the land down under, where a man thinks on his feet, speaks with his fists, and lives by his wits.
When Dundee happened, he was a superstar.
I'm probably drinking too much and celebrating too much and not sleeping. Would have killed a normal man, but no, that's gone. The medical advice I got from that was like being hit by lightning. Pretend it never happened and get on with your life.
You know, I'll be honest. I wasn't here at the studio yesterday, but I walked into a fucking disaster. So maybe that has something to do with the audio shit. There's used shot glasses. There was used beers, half drinking beers, party foul, right? So maybe this shit is all fucked up. Maybe the whole soundboard. I know you can't see me as I'm going like this to the soundboard here. As far as like our equipment, I don't know. It looked like there was a goddamn party here last night. There was a goddamn party here last night. But my point is I'm sure all the knobs have been fucked with. All right. There's half drinking fucking cocktails everywhere. All right. I was cleaning up. I mean, what the fuck? Am I the main service now? Fuck's going on here? All right. Shout out to the Golf Gambling Podcast. Those are my guys. Check them out. Golf season. It's in full swing, coming soon. All right. Check it out. Just shit everywhere though. All right. Anyway, I'm excited to talk about these games as I'm about to lose a bunch of money, as I have LSU -9 and they're up 4 with 30 seconds left. I don't think I'm going to cover that game. I'm looking okay. I don't want to jinx it. There's still 14 minutes left. I did play the under in the Iowa-Tennessee game. If Tennessee scores 2 more touchdowns, though, I would, or 10 more points, and I'd be fucked. Oregon, Bo Nix is playing the whole game. I didn't touch this game, but they're beating the shit out of. I commend those Oregon players for playing. Shout out to that. Not enough people talking about that. And yeah, we got 2 more games left. At the same time, I will key in on some college basketballs. I'm sweating out UT Arlington plus 17.5. I think it was. I already ate shit on Hampton plus the points. I'm also sweating out North Alabama. It's not going to hit. This could be a disastrous day. Maybe you shouldn't take my picks. Let's end the fucking show right now. I'm cleaning up shit. All right. It probably started with me cleaning up garbage. My picks then turned into fucking garbage. All right. Because I was dealing with all that garbage all fucking morning. How you doing? Texas, my largest wager of the college basketball games is still out there. It's Texas A&M Commerce plus 25.5. Get in, folks. And hopefully, and we're back. We're still doing the college basketball experience tonight, and we're doing a college football reaction show to the 4-team invitational. Myself, Patty C, who flew in last night. He's going to be late today because he's already grabbed 40 Bloody Marys this morning. It's debauchery. It's all debauchery. But yeah, hopefully UT Arlington gets this cover for me. Hopefully the Iowa under hangs on, and hopefully we can move seamlessly right in to the 4-team invitational, folks. And I got a few props I like too that we're going to drop here over the next 23 hardcore minutes. Hope your New Year's as well. Hope you did not stay sober unless you're truly sober. But Alabama, Michigan from the Rose Bowl, the line hasn't moved. I thought it might move a little bit this morning. Not really. Still seeing it -2.5 to Michigan. Over unders at 45.5. I find this to be the harder game of the two, because I can easily build a case for both teams winning, in my opinion. And I think the under is a smarter play. Out of all the plays you can do as far as betting on this game, I think under 45.5 is likely. Now, how does the over hit? Let's play this. How would the over hit? To me, if the over hits, it's got to be Milroe or McCarthy making, key mistakes, turning the ball over, which is certainly possible when you have two defenses this good. But I still think the under is better than. I'm on Michigan -2.5. If you ask me, Colby, how confident on a 1 to 10 scale, how confident are you with Michigan -2.5? I'd be one on that 1 to 10 scale. Maybe a 2 if I drink some of this old fashioned whiskey or whatever over here. But my logic is this: it's the third time Jim Harbaugh has been in the first round of the playoffs. I truly believe it, and the same can be said for anyone entering the playoffs. Your team's the psychology of your team. You know what I mean? You've been in this spot. All your veterans, for the most part. I know they got some guys in the portal too. So, but they weren't on those other teams, so that would defeat my argument. But I think third time's a charm. I think they have the more experienced quarterback play, so less likely to turn the ball over, which matters in games like this, I think. But at the same time, I think Alabama and Jalen Milroe, he's unlike any quarterback really in college football. And I think he's a hard guy to prep for. And obviously Nick Saban, I think, is doing maybe his best coaching job of his career, in my opinion. So could Alabama win this game? 100%. Jalen Milroe is one of my favorite quarterbacks to watch in all of college football, to tell you the truth. But I'm fascinated by this matchup because Michigan's D-line is super fucking good. Right. And I know Michigan's got the second best pass defense. And I know I mentioned this on yesterday's show, and I got a bunch of comments that said, "Hey, Dundee, Michigan didn't play any good passing offenses." I don't agree with that assessment. I mean, I get it. The Big Ten does suck offensively, but Ohio State's passing, obviously the Ohio State's wideouts are incredible. Yes, the quarterback play wasn't great, but I still think Michigan's defense is legit. Now, UNLV's offense is pretty good. Weren't they top 20? I know that's a mid-major, but I'm just saying that was another good offense they played. And Penn State's offense does suck. I agree with that assessment. A lot of the other teams, like Rutgers' offense, sucks. Michigan State's offense sucks. Indiana's offense sucks. We know Michigan's schedule was a joke. We know, but I believe they're talented. I was talking to Scotty Wackenheim a couple months ago. He's a former FCS coach of the year, Eddie Robinson coach of the year. And he's been on staffs everywhere. He won a national championship with Colorado in '90. He was in the NFL, but he was telling me about like how Michigan's 8-man rotation is super elite. He said there's not a team in college football this year. He said last year's Georgia would be the one that, you know, I don't even think he compared the two, but he just said like they have an 8-man rotation, 7-8-man rotation on that defensive line. And we know Alabama's offensive line has had problems this year, especially running the ball. So if you are Alabama and you're running the ball and you can't run against Michigan, that's going to force Jalen Milroe to pass the ball or ad lib and run, which I'm fearful as someone that's going to bet Michigan or did bet Michigan. That's how Alabama wins the game, is by Milroe ad libbing his way with this super great athleticism. But I also think he throws a lot of dangerous balls. I was watching the Auburn game yesterday. Or no, I'm sorry. I talked about this yesterday. I was watching the Auburn game in the past week. And I really think Auburn should have won that game, but also Auburn dropped like 2 or 3 interceptions in that game, specifically one on the left side of the field. And that's kind of been the story all year. I remember going back to the A&M game. Milroe, although looked very good at times, especially on the deep ball, the intermediate shit, he throws a ton of interceptable balls. If Michigan can contain him to not break big runs and ad lib and do what he does, it makes him such a fucking great player, and can force him to those intermediate throws, I do think it could be a problem for Alabama. That's why this game's so fucking compelling. Another thing is the flip side of that coin. I know Noah was talking about this. Noah's a Michigan fan. Is Alabama, I think, has great corners, and I don't think Michigan wide receivers are that good. So Alabama has a huge advantage right there, where Michigan's not going to be able to stretch the field. I agree with Noah here. I think the clear thing to watch for Michigan to have any success in the air is their tight ends. And that is going to be the fascinating game. The safeties of Alabama or the linebackers, but I think it'll be the safeties because I think they're going to go man. Well, against those tight ends, that's going to be, to me, the key. And obviously, if Michigan can establish the run, which I don't know that they can, that's why I like the under. I think the under, the only way we get cooked on the under, I think, is if defensive touchdowns or special teams touchdowns. I like the under as my best play. I'm also taking Michigan minus the points, but shout out to Tyler in the chat. He goes, ask yourself one question betting this game. How will you feel after witnessing yet another Michigan choke while simultaneously fading Saban in a big game? You know, the Saban thing, I would argue. A little bit, but Jim Harbaugh's got a terrible track record in bowl games. Michigan does too. That's fair. I'm with you. The Saban and big games thing, I actually think slightly a little overrated, because I could build you a case. Ohio State and their 3rd string quarterback took them down. You know what I mean? Like, they were paying for players before, there was only like 7 teams or 10 teams or something paying for fucking players. So some of those opponents that they faced during that stretch that wasn't paying for players, I don't put much into the coaching. Yes, his team looked good. He was prepared, but I understand your point, because Michigan and Harbaugh, that's something Harbaugh's got to get off his back. So I have no answer to that, besides I just think 3rd time's a charm. But anyway, I'm fascinated by that game. I actually think that's the more fascinating game of the 2 games. Now prop wise for this specific game, I actually like a lot more of the props in the other game, but let's go through. Can I give away? Let's go with where are we at here? I'm trying to find a Okay. First touchdown scored. So right now the odds, folks, and these are available on DK, but you got Blake Corum plus 370 for first TD. Jalen Milroe plus 650. That would have to be a rushing touchdown in case you didn't know. Roydell Williams plus 900. Roman Wilson plus 1,000. Chase McClellan plus 1,000. Donovan Edwards plus 1,300. Jermaine Burton plus 1,300. Colston Loveland plus 1,400. Isaiah Bond plus 1,500. Cornelius Johnson plus 1,800. McCarthy plus 2,000. Here's the thing, though. I think it's essential if Michigan does not get down early. You can get down 7 points, but if you get down 10-0, 13-0, 14-0, whatever the fuck, that could be very tricky for them. But for the first touchdown, I think it's essential Michigan gets out to the early lead because they're not built. We haven't seen them come from behind. Alabama, I somewhat have. You know what I mean? Somewhat have seen them get down. I think A&M had them down. Who was it? Auburn had them down. So we've seen them battle back. So I do think that's a key element. So that's why I will take a flyer on Michigan to score first. So that eliminates score the first touchdown. That eliminates some of the Alabama players there. I'm going to take a shot on Colston Loveland at plus 1,400. Plus 1,400. And if you look at Michigan, what happened to the last 2 times of the playoffs? Georgia just fucking destroyed them from the start. TCU was up 21-0 at like the fucking 5-minute mark of the first quarter. It's essential for Michigan this year. Even if they lose the game, I think the fact that they've had those experiences the past 2 years, I think it's essential for them to get up early, and I think they will. But they could still lose the game after that. But Colston Loveland plus 1,400. Sprinkle a little bit on that. I also like he's got a prop for over. Let me see if that's still the same. Where are we at? Oh no, that was underdog. So that was underdog. So on the other ones, let me see if I can pull something up here. Colston Loveland. What are we at here? Receiving yards. Over 30 receiving yards. Let's ride that. Yeah. I like that. Those are about the best plays. You know what is not a bad play? If you can find a defensive touchdown prop. Because with both defenses being this good and both offensive kind of having a history of problems turning the ball over, especially in Alabama's side of things. Obviously, they lost to Texas. That was a big issue in that game. I know Michigan doesn't have a problem turning the ball over, but I think they might today when those corners lock down the Michigan wideouts. So if you could find let me see if I can find this thing because I looked at it earlier. I'm just struggling to find it right now. Defensive touchdown anytime in this game, or I think it's worth sprinkling a little bit. It's out there. I'm just struggling to find it this very second. There's a lot of great stuff out there. Race to 10 points. Who will get the 10 points first? Neither. Plus 2,500. That's not going to happen though. I think that'll get in the. My final score was something like 20-17, 17-14, something like that. But yeah, search for that defensive touchdown prop because I think that you can find some good value there. Let's talk about the next game. Texas at Washington, or not at Washington, but Texas, Washington, the Sugar Bowl, New Orleans, Louisiana, the Big Easy, they call it. I'm excited to take this. I feel decent about this one. I'm all over Washington here. The line has gone down a half a point. So it was at 4.5. I thought it was yesterday, right? I just think to me, Kalen DeBauer, and I if you caught the other shows, I don't have a lot of difference on my opinion. I've thought this way really for the past 3 weeks. I think Kalen DeBauer with the month to prep is an advantage over Steve Sarkisian. That circle that as number one. Number two, Michael Penix in his 75th year of college football. To me, that is super, super important. If you look at college football playoff games recently, Max Duggan was in his 55th year of college football. They beat Michigan. Stetson Bennett was in his 75th year of college football. He won the national championship the past 2 years. I think this stuff matters when you have a super experienced quarterback. Like, I am very confident in the fact that Quinn Ewers will make a turnover in this game. He does it almost every game, even the Big 12 championship where they dominated. And I think that's a key advantage for Washington. And I trust Penix in, just big time game situations. He's been a starting quarterback for 30 fucking years in college, I feel like. So I love Washington in the spot. Another thing, I mean, I could talk a lot of this. The fact that Texas's pass defense is I think charting at 93rd or 90th, right? I know you could say Washington's pass defense is worse, but Washington's pass defense, I don't buy that. Actually, I actually think the numbers are lying to you here, because the Big 12 didn't have any good quarterbacks this year. Texas played 7 backup quarterbacks out of 13 games. And then the other starters they faced, like Will Howard, even Dylan Gabriel. Dylan Gabriel is probably their best passing quarterback. Him and Donovan Smith were the best passing quarterbacks they played all year, really. So I think they just haven't played many good passing quarterbacks. So I think this secondary is probably even worse than Washington's, because Washington's been playing Caleb Williams, Cam Ward, Bo Nix twice. Who else am I forgetting? DJU. You know what I mean? I know that game was in a monsoon, so maybe that one doesn't work. But my point is that the Pac-12 offenses are just so much better. Noah Fafita, they played Noah Fafita in Tucson with those great Arizona wideouts. So I don't buy into the numbers. I think they're lying to you there. Another thing is Texas's red zone offense is awful. One of the worst red zone offenses, and definitely the clear cut worst red zone offense in the CFP. It's been an issue for them all year. I think Washington's will probably have a bend but don't break defensive approach. Now, obviously, they got to stop the run, and I think that Texas knows that the key to them winning the game is establishing the run. That's why I do also like the over on the rushing yards for CJ Baxter. But yeah, I think that, and then Washington is the best team in the college football playoffs on third down. They're a top 10 team in the country on third down. Once again, this goes back to my Michael Penix thing on key plays, fourth downs, third downs. I would rather have Michael Penix than any quarterback in the nation. And I think that is the deciding factor of why it might be a tight game, but in the biggest moments, I expect Penix to know he's going to be cool, collected, and make the right decisions. Where Quinn Ewers, we've never seen him on a spotlight or on a stage like this. And even at his biggest stages, Red River Shootout, the Big 12 championship, he played great in the Big 12 championship, but he still turned the ball over. That's the edge for me on taking Washington. I also do think you take the under on Dylan Johnson, 73.5 rushing yards. Like I said, I think the over on CJ Baxter. There's a couple other ones I like. I think Quinn Ewers passing. I think he's going to throw for over 288 passing yards. Penix over 313. I actually like the Ewers one better than the Penix one. I also like Milroe and Ewers over a half interception. I especially love the Ewers one. Like I feel very good about Ewers' chances of throwing a pick. Another one I like is Jatavian Sanders, the star tight end for the Longhorns, over 41.5 receiving yards. And yeah, I'm on Washington plus the points. I also am on Washington plus, what did I get? 155, I think it was, money line. And I think I lean under. So let's go. Folks, we got 4 minutes before the game tips. I think I've gone through all the shit that I could talk about for these two games. I'm fascinated by watching both of these. I think the more intriguing one, the more uncertainty for me is Michigan Bama, which actually has me a little more excited to watch it. It's also not played in a filthy fucking dome. It's the Rose Bowl. It's a great venue. As much as I'm on a list where I can't get in, it's a great venue. So, let's fucking go. Appreciate you rock with us. And yeah, I'm sorry. Games do start but my point is I wanted to do a 30-minute show. You're right, Scott. You are right, Scott. Tennessee's up 28-0. 6 minutes left. That under's gonna cook. I think LSU didn't hit those filthy bastards. Liberty's only down a cool 39 with 8 minutes left. Shout out to those Oregon players who played. I think that's fantastic for the sport. As Bo Nix is thrown for like 75 touchdowns. And yeah. I mean, that should have been SMU. Should have put SMU in that game. What else do we have? Let me do a quick college basketball check. Games are happening. Right now, UTA is covering by a half a point with 2 minutes left. Looks like I'm going to lose money on North Alabama. Yes, that is now final. But this is the best opportunity. We doubled down. On Texas A&M Commerce. Double down because we've lost a little bit of money this morning. Let's go. Let's have some fun. And what? Did we go final? Yeah. I don't know. Don't tell me that, Rob. Don't fucking say that. Folks, this is the college football experience. I'm going to go eat some fucking pizza and continue to clean up this fucking mess. It was like a fucking monsoon came through here. Who the hell was that? I feel like it was something happened here last night. This is like, I'm expecting Sean or Ryan to have a Nick Nolte like mugshot based on the performance at the studio yesterday. All right. All right, folks. I'm going to go eat some fucking pizza. All right. This is the college football experience. We'll be back tonight with college football and college basketball. How about that? Check us out. Until then, this is the college football experience. You better start thinking about yours. And we are out of here.
Did you know to get books we written in the game?